The services sector is really divided. Everything that's close to industry, like IT services, logistics, is booming with manufacturing. And then there is the other share, like travel, retail, which is not going very well. Retail has partly been shifted to online retail, but everything that's presence, retail where people meet, a lot of that is locked down, is shut down, and the situation there is very bad.
Now, earlier in the pandemic, Germany was really hailed for its efforts in controlling the virus, very quick to get out there with very effective testing, certainly relative to other European countries, but also relative to other advanced economies. When it comes to the vaccination rollout, it's a really different story. How is that affecting the business outlook, and what does that mean for growth expectations in Germany?
Well, unfortunately, the corona management is really a risk for the economy. It's going very badly, not just the vaccination. So we are very slow with the vaccinations, but also the testing. Testing has been discussed for a long time, but it doesn't really happen. So it would be easier to lift lockdowns if there was an effective testing strategy, but that hasn't materialized up to now. It's being discussed very intensively and it's coming along, but Germany is very slow at doing that. So there are significant weaknesses here, and that is certainly holding back the recovery.
And do you see that changing? I mean, you say that there is a lot of work being done, but is there actually going to be a change in strategy in Germany when it comes to testing and also potentially the way it's approaching the vaccination rollout?
What we see crumbling at the moment is a coordinated strategy. For a long time, it has been the central government has been trying to coordinate this, and this hasn't worked. Now, many state governments develop their own testing strategies. And with the vaccinations, there is the expectation that more vaccines will be available as from April, and that the process will then be accelerated. There's enormous pressure particularly on the Conservative Party, which is seen as mostly responsible for the situation. So the pressure is enormous, and the expectation is that this process will accelerate. But up to now, this hasn't happened yet.
And you mentioned the political impact that we're already starting to see from, in part anyway, the slow vaccination rollout. I mean, how should investors think about the political risk in Germany in the months ahead?
There certainly is a risk that the vaccination process doesn't work. And if that happens, in particular, the Conservative Party runs a risk of losing the elections, and that may give rise to more political uncertainty. Still, I think the greater likelihood is that they will manage to get the vaccinations done until the summer, and then they will recover. And what everybody expected before, a coalition between the Greens and the Conservatives and a stable government, is the most likely outcome for the elections. But if the vaccinations don't come along, we don't know what will happen.